Eyewitnesses are so critical when it comes to understanding anything about history. Dr. Louis Gottschalk, graduate professor of history at University of Chicago, wrote a book, an excellent book called Understanding History. You know why it's so good? It takes the very scholarly, intricate things about understanding history and makes it simple. And in his book, Understanding History, Louis Gottschalk says this: the ability to tell the truth rests in part upon the witness's nearness to the event. Nearness is here used in both a geographical and a chronological sense. Now, what does that mean? Well, geographical means in physical presence. In other words, the closer to the event you are physically, the better. And then chronological, time-wise. The closer you are time-wise to the event, usually the greater the accuracy. In other words, if you were an eyewitness. You know, in the New Testament, they were so concerned about truth. And with the apostles, they would say, well, how do you know Jesus said that? How do you guys really know he did that? Just like we ask today, in the New Testament church, they were asking that because they were so committed to truth. And so John gives an answer to them of how he had a confidence that what they were saying about what Jesus said and Jesus did was true. And this is in 1 John 1, in verses 1 to 3. Now look, you possibly have read it many times, but most people kind of skip over it because there doesn't seem to be any substance there. But what is there is far more important than a lot of the substance. What is there? John is telling how he and the other apostles had confidence about what Jesus said and did. Listen to what he said. What we have heard with our own ears, not with somebody else, what we have heard with our own ears, what we have seen with our eyes, what we have handled with our hands, we declare unto you. In other words, he was saying, look, we were eyewitnesses. We were there. We all heard him say this. We heard him do this. And Jesus wouldn't say something just once. He'd say it over and over and over again. And so he said, look, we have a confidence in what we're saying because our ears heard it, our eyes saw it, and our hands handled it. You can't get much closer to a person or an event in history to record what happened than what the apostles did with Jesus.